Good morning, everybody. I am JJW, and that's that's Deacon over there. Oh, look at that. Phone home. Phone home. Oh no. All right.
Oh yeah,
Good
phone
morning,
home.
Deacon.
We're touching
Yeah,
fingers.
phone. Yeah, yes. Yeah, look at
That's
that.
that's
Oh man,
cute.
it's like the hundreds of miles between us don't even exist.
They don't exist. What's up, dude?
Hey, good morning. How are you feeling, Deacon?
I feel better this morning. My medical conditions aren't affecting me. Take care of yourself,
good.
kids. Don't eat sugar.
I just spilled coffee all over my desk.
I
And
have. Look at this. I'm gonna try to be
Mhm.
fancy. I'm fancy this morning, so I'm gonna try to show you. Oh, look at this.
Oh, is that
Cinnamon.
cocoa?
Cinnamon. Cinnamon's good to keep your blood sugar down, but I'm drinking chai latte this morning.
Ew, chai
Ooh,
latte.
I like that.
Do you like? Hey, man, are you into those boba tea things too,
Mm-mm.
with like
That's
berries in
weird.
them or something?
No, that's weird. The kids had me drink one time. It was a while ago. The little Jello balls, the little globule.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's a weird texture for me, man. I'm a texture person. Are you a
Jeremy
texture
says.
person?
Jeremy says the finger touching was almost Ryan Reynolds' fawning level of gay.
That's fine with
Thank
me.
you. Yeah, well, everybody,
I fawn
we're
over
taking that
Ryan
as a
Reynolds.
compliment.
That's
Woo, verklempt. I saw him
funny.
I saw a little bit on the news this morning, but I wouldn't plan on bringing him in. Okay. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. Here we go. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. First of all, I'm just going to talk about Texas first.
Tejas?
And Tejas.
Tejas.
Yesterday, the governor of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott,
Governor
he
Greg.
called for an investigation into election day voting issues in Harris County.
Ooh, okay.
Where
Is
I
that
live.
Houston? Houston.
Yes.
Okay.
Harris County has Houston in it. Now,
Okay.
I'm sure you remember there were the the video you posted about people having trouble voting in Harris County. You posted that video to our thing. I don't know if I ran it or not.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we talked
I
about
have
it.
since seen a couple of other videos. There was one election office where somebody was refusing to sign. There
Yeah.
was some other videos of people where they had
They were in line and it was getting late, so they kicked them. They wouldn't let them vote. Yeah.
There was a store. There was one where there was like in one of the elementary schools that was one of the voting areas, and they had like 100 machines in there, and only like 6 were working. So, Governor Greg Abbott has called for the Secretary of State, and I guess it would be the whoever's the prosecutor or whatever, to investigate this stuff. The allegations of election improprieties in our state's largest county may result from anything ranging from malfeasance to blatant criminal conduct, he said Monday. Voters in Harris County deserve to know what happened. The county is the third largest in the United States of America, and it was the subject of a lawsuit filed on election day, that claimed at least a dozen voting locations opened late. A local judge ordered polls to remain open an additional hour, but the Texas Supreme Court blocked the order and said that any ballots cast after the original closing time should be counted separately.
Really?
And well, the law is the law.
I thought if you were in a fucking line, if you're standing in line at 3:00 and you've stood there for 3 hours, or even if you're standing in line at 5:59, and it turns 6 o'clock, you still get to vote. Even if you don't get there until 7 o'clock, you still get to vote.
Right, but if they say, what do they mean by stay open an extra hour? Stay open an extra hour, and additional people can get in line in that extra hour?
No additional people should be able to get in line.
That's right.
You should cut the line and be like, okay, all you people get to vote.
If the local judge said stay open an extra hour and let people get in line, then it makes sense that the Supreme Court would say, no, you can't do that. So, we have to, the laws maybe on rules have to be fair and they have to be fairly applied to everybody. You can't just like, oh, we're just going to change the rules a little bit in our area for a little extra stuff, So anyway, some polling sites also reported running out of paper, which forced officials to just stop voting. And Harris County had the longest ballot in the nation with as many as 103 races in some precincts. Dude, I had like 4 pages of votes.
Good God.
Okay. It was a lot of stuff. It was a lot. When I did the sample ballot, I ran through the sample ballot a couple times. It was 4 pages long. It was over 100 questions I had to answer.
How in the hell do you? And you're a pretty informed, educated voter.
I mean, I try to be, but I mean, I'm not the most, but yeah.
How the hell do you know who every one of these people are and what all these things? Because they word some of these things. You haven't heard of some of these provisions that they put. And then the way that they word them is to make you stupid. And I like to think that I can read legalese pretty good,
Right.
Sometimes you just like, whatever.
So on our ballot, I mean, first of all, like, there's a couple of different filters that you run the questions through whenever you're going through to answer these things, right?
Right.
First of all, if they're a Democrat, they're insane. They want to like do drag time, story time. So I scratch all those off. But I did go through and I evaluated between the Republican and the Libertarians. And, I actually went and I did research on like, especially the top line Libertarian candidates. And I was like, no, these guys are joking around. Like there's a lot of things that the Libertarian Party and the Mises Caucus says. And I'm like, I'm down with that stuff.
Right.
And then you front a candidate that's like, oh, you fronted a clown. Clown in my district.
And you said it perfectly. Me and Ashley's talked about this before because she's libertarian. I lean libertarian. And that's my problem is that I love what the libertarians say, but the people that they put up there sometimes is like, I'm like, was there really? This is the only freaking guy? Or this is the only lady that you could find? This is the only person? Right. Hell, I don't know if I can vote for them, but I like what you say, but I don't know if I can vote for them. That's...
There was I can't remember her name right now, but there was this woman running for lieutenant governor. Is this it? Do I have it? Yeah, I have it. Let me show you guys again, because this is some of the stuff I looked at. I was like, oh, let me consider a lieutenant governor for libertarian. Oh, Shanna Steele for lieutenant governor. And what's this? Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. This is a canned. This political website for her candidacy is like not even, they didn't even fill it out. None of it's filled out. Just wrote her name and that's it.
Are you serious? No, oh my God.
Morons. I'm not voting for you if you do that kind of like, you could have got an intern or a volunteer to do that for free. You could have gone to any college campus and be like, hey, who here is liberty-minded and wants to volunteer?
Dude, man, I can show you
fill out this website for me,
please.
Go to
Weebly, man. Do that shit for free.
Right, yeah. Honestly, I saw that and I was like, maybe I should run for lieutenant governor. You can make a website better than that. Yeah, dude, maybe I should. So,
you're pretty successful on Discord servers. I mean, so far, so yeah.
Try. Right, speaking of, I still have the link to join the FUNSLINGERS server right now. If anybody's watching,
join and
talk. But it won't be forever. It is for now.
Yeah, morning, Brian. We've got it open exclusively right now. So if you want to join our Discord server, it's only open to the public right now.
Right now,
close it soon, and only open
right now
times. So if you want to join,
mostly talking about Marvel Snap.
I know. Okay, so you talked about your governor. Can I talk about my governor?
Yeah. Okay. And then I got another one. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to talk. Let me get my story up here. I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it coming. So my governor did something in the state yesterday that we have been waiting for a long, long time, kind of. And they only took a little baby step, which they could have taken a regular full-size step, but they took a baby step. So I'm not going to bitch too much. But Governor Andy Beshear yesterday signed an executive order allowing possession of marijuana for medicinal purposes, 21 different medical conditions. Is marijuana any type of legal? What's the legality in Texas?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
I imagine it's not legal, and also
I don't know.
people grow it all over the place.
Well, it's same with Kentucky. I mean, people grow it all over the place. It grows in the backyard, but in Kentucky, we've been pushing for this for a long time, and all the states around us have kind of gotten some. They passed a law years ago to decriminalize it. So if you have it in possession, you wasn't going to get arrested. You'd get a ticket. Up to a certain amount, you'd get a ticket. You
right.
have to go to court. But now they've got it starting in January. So far, what he says, starting in January, there are 21 medical conditions that you must be in possession of a certificate. You've got to go somewhere else to buy it. So you would have to go to Illinois. Would be our closest place here in Western Kentucky to buy it.
You guys are you're legalizing possession but not distribution.
Yeah, look, marijuana must be purchased in the U.S. from a state where it is legal and regulated. Those certified would only be allowed to be in possession of 8 ounces or less, as that is the threshold between a felony and misdemeanor. So they didn't regulate it. They just medicinally passed it. So that means the people that are going to have a medical card are still going to buy from the drug dealers. They're not going to go, especially people over in Eastern and Central Kentucky.
Well,
I am only like 40 minutes from Illinois. If that, I'm 30 minutes from Illinois, maybe. Actually, I'm not 30 minutes from Illinois. I'm about 15 minutes right over the river. But if I took the interstate to go up to Metropolis, to where the dispensary is, I'm probably 25 minutes away. And I know you don't know this, but there are all kinds of taxes on marijuana when you buy it up there. All right. So you have all these state taxes and all this other stuff that you're paying. So if it says $10, you're really paying about 40 after taxes. But if you are out of state resident buying, there's even more taxes added on. So the $50 purchase all of a sudden becomes $150 or $120. So these people that are already hurting and needing medicine.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
is this really
maybe this is just the first step, because like introducing an entire industry of distributing marijuana is like a giant headache. And right now it looks like they're like, look, you can have it, but like we're not letting you distribute it here. And which, hey, by the way, look at the upside of there. They just like opened the door to a bunch of entrepreneurial.
Right, and that's what I've always kind of pushed for. And when I talked about this with people about legalizing marijuana, do you realize all of the secondary and all of these different businesses and jobs and opportunities that it opens up? You're not just thinking about a bunch of high people smoking. What about the people that grow it, distribute it, organize it, sell it, transport it? These truck drivers don't smoke marijuana, but they're sure making money off of it, man. They probably do smoke marijuana, but you know what I'm saying? I don't drink. I have like 2 drinks a year. Okay. I don't drink, but I can pick up a rock and spin in a circle and throw it and hit a liquor store. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I don't go to them. When I go to the 5-star, I pass by the beer cooler and I don't go in. So I don't understand why people have. My mother would still be alive if marijuana were legal. My mother was in so much pain. She suffered daily. And I hated putting her in the car and driving her ass to Paducah to the pain management center. Do you guys have pain management centers? They're called pain management centers. And every one of them, I'm not going to try to be racist by any means, but every one of them that I've ever seen all of the doctors are straight from India. Okay. They barely speak English and they're all Indian. And all I did was wheel my mom in. She would wheel her. They would call her name Mary and she would wheel back. I could count to 20 and she would roll back in. And at first time I asked her, I said, are you done? Did they mess up? What's going on? You didn't have a doctor's appointment. I was prepared to sit here for like 30, 45 minutes to an hour. What's the deal? She was literally gone 3 minutes. And she said, no, they just asked me. They basically, Mary, check, you're here. Okay, here's your opioids. We'll see you in a month. is what they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she would wheel up there. They'd give her prescription for these big ass fucking opioid. I don't know marijuana or
Right. Pills and
I don't
stuff.
know
Yeah.
the pills. I know she took the one that it's like the top of the freaking pain chart they give to, like, it's basically like morphine. Whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know pharmaceuticals that well. So anyway, all I know is that my mom got hooked on these, and me and my brother, when she would try to get off, she went through these crazy spells where we thought she was going to die. And I mean, it was just I'm so glad. I miss my mom so much because she was my only one that I could talk to. And she
Right.
really was. My dad, my brother, I love them, but they're just not me. And my mom was me, and I miss her so much. But man, she would still
Oh my
fucking be
God.
here. She'd still be here if it wasn't for freaking, and so it pisses me off when these people, it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect them, So fuck it. It's
Yeah.
like you said, it's a step. It's a small step.
I mean, yeah. So, really they're probably like testing the waters, and they don't want to expose, don't want to be too liable. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll,
But
maybe it'll, and
they,
I'm not an advocate, and I'm not an advocate. I mean, there's in our neighborhood in the past, there's been like a couple people that like I walk outside and I'm like, oh, somebody around here is doing something, but it's not like I care. I don't really care. And
right. I mean,
other than it does stink.
yeah, and it stinks. And I mean, and you can buy these vape things here like this that don't stink anymore, and it does the same thing. And then people, I mean, there's so many ways to ingest marijuana if people wanted to do it anymore.
Yeah. All right. So your state is
we've made a baby step.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's the way it goes, right?
And yeah, but I mean, yeah, I just wish these people would wake up. And there's some of these state senators and attorney general of our state that I really like, that are kind of like, they're pushing against this right now, and not because they don't support it. They say they don't support it, but it's because they don't like what the governor did. Just come out and say that he's going to do this and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agree. Yeah, well, he's not
the thing. One of the things that occurred to me during what you said is, they said you're only allowed to get it from across state lines, and one of the things that absolutely does, is it puts the regulation and distribution of that under federal law rather than Kentucky law.
Ooh, that's
because as soon as it crosses the border, and federal law, I don't even know if they've passed it or made it legal yet or not for it to be interstate transport. I just don't know. It's not a topic I'm into. Really, but I can understand why you'd be a passionate advocate, especially.
Yeah, I mean, my aunt, my mother's oldest sister, she'd have been in her 90s now, but when she was in her late 80s, she used to, she was in a nursing home. So I would go see her, and she talked like this right here. And so my name's Andrew, and she'd go, Andrew, I wish you'd bring me some marijuana. Wow. Just as loud as hell in the nursing home. And I'd go, Aunt Pat, I can't bring you any marijuana. I'd want to smoke a joint. She was just, I just always thought, man, this woman is in her late 80s. Give this woman a joint, man.
Right.
Let her smoke a joint. God almighty. Yeah. Come on.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on to another governor topic.
All right.
We're going to move on to another
trifecta governors this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to Texas. Deacon, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday there was a bit of a kerfuffle or two on Twitter.
Ooh.
Yeah, a couple. I don't know if you saw all of them, but this one yesterday, Governor Greg Abbott tweeted, "I invoked the invasion clause of the U.S. and Texas constitutions to fully authorize Texas to take unprecedented measures to defend our borders against an invasion. I'm using that constitutional authority and other authorization and executive orders to keep our state and country safe."
What's sad is that I completely support stuff like this and states doing this, but there's so many people that just kind of laugh at this that don't understand history and laws. He probably has every right in the world to do this, and this is a perfect time to actually do this. And folks are going to laugh him under the bus for this, man, and it's sad.
So there was a couple of tweets, a couple of replies, and I'll get to it. So first of all, the state of Texas is deploying the National Guard to our border and to turn back migrants that are trying to cross illegally. I mean, let me start with this. Texas is creating a deterrent force that the United States will not do.
Right.
The United States is basically winding the thing up, the dinner bell, and saying, "Come on to America. If you get in here, you're going to go somewhere, but we're not going to turn you back." United States is a magnet for people to cross, and that causes people to travel in unsafe conditions. That causes criminals to cross the border.
I started to say the Mexican drug cartels, man. Jesus Christ. That looks like that would be enough for the federal government to step in and give you some sort of protection just from that. I mean, and it's not just like, when we say crossing the border, I know a little bit about this, and I'm in Kentucky. I don't have to worry about this, but I'm sure you know a lot more about this. But when we say crossing the border, we're not talking about them running, there's like sophisticated tunnels and shit like this that those people make.
There's a lot of that in Arizona. I don't know if there's not much of that in Texas, but we found some before. And they're like a mile-long tunnel.
Yeah.
And they smuggle people, and they smuggle fentanyl. They smuggle drugs.
Drugs.
And the fentanyl, like 500 people a day, it's at least 200 people a day die from fentanyl overdoses from fentanyl brought into the country and distributed. A ton of people. It's probably the number one killer of people, illicit drugs and stuff like that.
We had some kids die several years ago from some fentanyl-laced stuff around here, and it was a lot
of that. Okay. So we have the National Guard going to the border. The Texas Department of Public Safety is going to arrest and return to the border immigrants who crossed illegally and deployed the DPS to arrest illegal immigrants for criminal activity. Since the Border Patrol is underfunded, but we are going to get 87,000 new IRS agents. Since the Border Patrol is underfunded, we're going to use our DPS officers to supplement. They're going to build a border wall in multiple counties on the border. So we're just going to patch the walls that, Biden won't do. We are deploying gunboats to secure the border. Gunboats.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We are designating Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, which I believe opens up additional powers, but I don't know what those are. But by declaring them a terrorist organization, then I think that means safety's off and they can get bang bang. I
started to say that probably means that you can take the safety off, is what that means.
Yeah. We're going to enter into a compact with other states to secure the border. We're talking Arizona. Maybe we're talking Florida, and I don't know. Maybe New Mexico gets squished and says, "Okay, we'd rather not get all of the immigrants." But it may not be Arizona if Katie Hobbs takes the governorship. She doesn't want to make a deal. You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is the news network. And by that, I mean word of mouth news networks from cartels and immigrants and stuff are going to be like, "Oh, it's not safe to go to Texas. So we're just going to reroute westward through Mexico and go up and cross the Arizona
California,
border."
Arizona.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, we're going to, if we can't make this not the U.S. problem, we're going to do our damnedest to make it not Texas problem.
Right.
And, just discourage people from doing this. But anyway, we're going to enter agreements with foreign powers to enhance border security. I don't know if we can do that, but sure. Who's going to stop us? Biden is asleep. And provide resources for border counties to increase their efforts to respond to border invasion. And by the way, there's like 5 million people this year. We have like 5 million people. I saw a story the other day, 230,000 stops and 230,000 engagements where we encountered people and stopped them. Wow. In a year, 230,000. Can you, it's so many. And they move in groups. So it's not like it's one. So somebody in here posted "Oh, it's not legal. It's not legal." And then I don't know where it is. And then I screenshotted the Texas Constitution where it says the governor of Texas can repel invasions. So okay. So Texas is I got to be careful on Twitter. I had to pull all those videos down from Monday. Twitter now makes me nervous because I might show a DM or something. All right, so
oh yeah,
so Texas, this part right here, the designate Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. That's probably big news. And in a slightly related note, and I don't know if you know or not, Donald Trump last night at like 8:00 Central Time. Yeah, he announced. Did you watch any of it? He announced that he announced that he's going to run for president again. I certainly have mixed feelings about it. I know that you have unmixed feelings about it.
I mean, it's a bad move. I like him, but I think it's a bad move.
I don't know. I'm going to wait and see where the leaves fall, and because Cernovich for sure is kind of rallying against him. Up until last night, up until yesterday, Scott Adams, who's influential, was off the Trump bus. But one of the things that Trump laid out in his platform, in his speech last night, I listened to like half of it. One of the things he laid out was not only securing the border, but taking down the fentanyl cartels, taking them down. And his basic plan of action for taking out illegal drug distributors that are killing people is to kill them. That was his plan, and that's the only way you can deal with the cartel.
He's right.
You have to make it like, oh, if we do this, we're going to get killed. No, we're not. Oh, there's bodies. Okay, so that's the only way to negotiate with them. Otherwise, you're going to have cartels. Do you know how many bodies are littered across the border?
Sometimes you got to have
stories every year.
Sometimes you got to have a son of a bitch in the woodpile to do shit that nobody else wants to do. And, you know, sometimes you just do. And he's right. We can't prosecute them and do this and blah, blah, blah. Just kill them.
Right. I mean, now, if Team DeSantis, if you're planning on running for president and you want my support, then tell me you're going to stop the Mexican cartels. Because they're running Mexico. The government of Mexico isn't running Mexico. The cartels are. So tell me you're going to stop the cartels and stop, fentanyl from coming into the country and whatever. Just do something. Do something. Okay.
There was another big story yesterday. Do you have anything about the missile?
Right. Okay. So I saw this yesterday about noon. I was flipping through Twitter and I was over on there on the trends, and the trend said Article 5. And I was like, Article 5 is trending. Why is Article 5 trending? Well, because yesterday around, 10 or 11 in the morning, our time, so in the evening, their time, a missile impacted a village or a granary, like a granary area, whatever, village near the border of Ukraine and Poland. And 2 Polish people died. And because the missile came from Russia and 2 Polish people died, everybody on Twitter was like, uh-oh, here we go. Article 5, a NATO country has been attacked. Polish citizens died. They're going to invoke Article 5, and now NATO is going to go World War III with Russia. And I was like, why? What? So what I think has happened is that Russia was kind of like in a withdrawal mode. They were pulling out of Kherson or whatever, and they were shooting missiles all over. And I think that I think one of their crappy ass Russian missiles either went astray, or I read a story later in the day that the Ukrainian missile defense shot down a missile,
right?
And the debris from the shoot down landed in the Polish little village thing.
Whatever.
So
you can't react to stuff like this with emotions. You have to use your brain and logically think about stuff through. And those people on Twitter, they react. If you read about it within 5 seconds on Twitter, that's emotional reactions from people.
Oh my gosh.
You know what those type of people are. So you need to use your brain. And that's what JJ is just explaining. JJ is explaining when you use your brain. So if you like them, if you like Russia, if you hate them, if you love them, if you agree, if you disagree, it doesn't matter. What he said is probably the most logical thing that happened. is that they either probably shit, just fire, run, fire, or
yeah, they were probably doing that. They were probably doing an
out.
active withdrawal.
Yeah, or
why would Russia attack a grain drying barn? What? That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry that 2 Polish citizens died. I'm sorry that everybody on both sides is dying. I'm sorry that the Russian conscripts are getting killed. I don't want them to be there. They don't want to be there. Ukraine doesn't want them there. The only people that want them there are probably Ukraine and Russia government. Because Ukraine is getting like billions of dollars from America, and Russia is getting like land and power and access to the warm straits or whatever. The only people that want any of this to happen are the people in government. So, immediately after this little kerfluffle, this missile, I'm going to say missile strike, but it's really like a missile impact. The only people immediately after the missile impact, the Polish Defense Council and the Hungary Defense Council met in a quickly convened a little meeting. So, people were like, oh no, are they going to invoke Article 5? I don't think so. Certainly not over this little thing. You can still see Article 5 is trending on Twitter, and a bunch of psychopaths on Twitter are advocating for NATO to invoke Article 5. And there are people out there that want to drag us all into war. So, David Perkins says, when you elect a weak international policy president, these are the things that happen. The American people voted for this. Yeah, the American people voted for this. So if we go to war, Democrats, it's your fault. It really is. I'm serious. No joke, Jack. No joke, fat. You're going to war, and it's going to be your own fault. Okay, but we're not going to war yet. It's not happening yet. And as dangerous and close as this is, it's not close enough yet for Russia or Ukraine to negotiate for peace. So a whole lot more blood has to get spilled before these people will back down. The real question is, do we get any more accidental missile strikes or an oopsie nuclear artillery piece before it happens? I don't know. And I don't live there. So just just leave us out of it.
Jesus Christ. I just made a fool of myself because I completely forgot. What fucking band was she with? Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself.
He's talking to himself. Okay. All right. So that's not the only war that's going on. It's not only Article 5. It's not only it's not just the Texas National Guard going to the border. We've got a real problem, real problem, Deacon. According to the New York Post, which reported this story yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not good. Sperm counts worldwide have plunged 62% in under 50 years. That's less humans. That's less babies. That's not good.
We just crossed over. Did you see? We just crossed over to 8 billion people.
Yeah.
With the world calculator or whatnot. 8 billion people on the planet. Are you a person that thinks our planet is overpopulated? Do you buy into that narrative? No. I don't either.
No.
I've never bought into that. We're overpopulated. We're running out of stuff. No, we're not.
We have, for the last 50 years, we've, at least in the United States and probably in other developed countries, we've had a declining growth rate, which means that there are fewer people being born to replace the current population, which means when you get old, especially you childless millennials, when you get old, there's fewer people to work in society to take care of you, because eventually you're going to need it. And if there's fewer people that run in the economy, fewer people to provide services, fewer people to develop the new technologies, provide food, if there's fewer people to do the work, what you have is a top heavy population that has people that can't work and need services and fewer people to do the work. So an overburdened you. And guess what happens
guess what's happening right now?
Guess what happens when your entire civilization is dominated by old people that won't work, forcing into labor young people that will work. Hello, revolution. They will kill you. They will kill you in your armchair. So no, we don't have an overpopulation problem at the moment.
I don't think so either.
So we may have resource allocation issues. We may have resource generation issues. We may need to learn some more effective ways to grow food, but we're not out of room.
Absolutely.
All right. That's just my opinion. So globally, we're talking all around the world. Sperm counts dropped 62%. Now, real questions. Why? What are we doing that's causing this? And this kind of thing is going to lead to wouldn't it? There was like a movie like Children of Men. Was that what it was? It was a while back where like people just couldn't have kids. Like the whole human species was like infertile.
Ooh, I don't know.
That's going to be bad.
That's interesting.
It's an old movie. It's like I'll look it up in a second. But so during the same 50-year period, the concentration among men dropped by more than 51%, from 101.2 million to 49 million sperm per millimeter of semen. This is fun stuff to talk about right here. According to peer-reviewed study.
Okay.
Hey, you got 5 Deacon, you good. You got 5 kids, right? You're good. But there's a lot of people out there that are not going to be good. That number, I'm going to be honest right here.
I'll be honest with you. I've been shooting blanks for years, Fred.
Oh yeah.
I got lasered.
My wife and I were married for 13 years, and we tried to have kids, and we couldn't have kids, and we eventually adopted. We have 2 wonderful, beautiful kids that are adopted. But that same story, that's all over the world.
I was just fixing to say that story. There are people in my immediate family with your exact same story, but not as far along as you are.
Yeah, and do you know how hard it is to adopt?
Yeah.
It is so difficult.
Yeah. I worked for a foster care company for a little while and was privy to the other side of that. It's a complicated process, man. And those kids, your 2 girls are the luckiest little girls in the world, man. That's
what I think.
They are, man. Goodness gracious, because a lot of the kids that are in the adoption system, they aren't as lucky as your 2 girls.
Yeah. I mean,
they're biological sisters, and wow, man, that was just wow.
Not only their biological sisters, but like we are in regular contact with their birth mother,
right?
So like they haven't lost what many kids that get adopted have lost, because some kids are taken away from their families for good reasons, and some kids are unfortunately have circumstances where their parents die, and they're taken in by relatives or whatever. Anyway, so if the natural human condition of reproduction drops by 62% or 52% and continues to plummet or just can't replace itself, then over the long term, and I'm talking over the next 50 years and over the next century, you could see the population really have problems related to age and production, and that could have social and political ramifications as well. The real question, though, is why is this happening? And I don't know that we have an answer to why it's happening, but it could be related to drugs. It could be related to like drinking out of plastic drinking out of plastic water bottles and microparticles and things like that. We don't know, but there's something. It could have something to do with the stuff we put on our food to make sure it's shelf safe for a few days, like the preservatives. We just don't know.
This could have been biologically engineered as well, you know, and given to us to lower the population over the course of 200 years. You know, if you did, you're a statistics person. So what if you did have the ability to do this, and you're an evil not an evil, but a big government? You're like, okay, my God, by the time we get to 2050, in 1950, there were 1 billion people on the planet. And by the time we get to 2050, there's going to be, whatever. And maybe this was biologically engineered.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't,
to lower the population.
I mean, that seems far fetched, but I wouldn't put anything out of the realm of like pondering.
Right.
But like,
that's all I'm doing is throwing out ideas.
Oh, what's up, Road Dog? Hello, JJ and Kentucky Hippie. That's Road Dog on Rumble. Thank you for hooking us up with a comment. If you don't mind, hit follow. And
you've got a name of a very close friend of mine that passed away for a while.
Road Dog?
Yeah, his name was the Road Dog. And when you say that, it makes me think of him. So I automatically like this guy.
I like him too. He's our new favorite person in Rumble. And by the way, everybody should be going to Rumble because sometimes we say stuff that gets us banned on YouTube. Like for real. I've already been banned.
Yeah, that's been twice.
All right. So that's all I got to say about man milk.
Look,
Deacon. Yeah. It's intentional depopulation. I'm going to be like, well, how it's going to be impossible to know, And
right. Like you're exactly right. Unless you're the Coca-Cola people and there's only 2 people that know, you're not going to know. It's always going to be
I don't know.
far-fetched conspiracy theory crazy.
I don't want to live. I don't want to live in conspiracy theory land. Now, do I think that people made something that inadvertently did this and they don't even know that they're doing it? Oh, that's very possible. Do I think someone? Do I think an evil scientist was was like mixing test tubes and be like, I found the answer. I'm gonna like depopulate the earth. No, that sounds crazy. But I do think that we probably have unforeseen byproducts of something we do. It's causing people to. I mean, it could be as simple as like, oh, people are just on their laptops too much with on their laps, and it's cooking their stuff. Anyway. I said we're moving on. We're moving on from this topic. Don't worry. We will get back to a semen topic eventually, I'm sure.
Gross. Thank you.
Deacon, I saw you posted this story about Candace Cameron.
Yeah.
In the Discord feed, and I saw a related one for Danica McKellar. I don't know what the Great American Family is. Can you give me some news?
Okay, tell me what this is. Let me get the story up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up, and you can tell me about
it. It's a channel, the Great American Family channel, and it's a very wholesome, traditional family channel. Christian family channel. I guess you could say Christian maybe. But Candace Cameron does these, for lack of a better descriptive term, Hallmark movies. They're the lovey-dovey. That's the generic term now, is Hallmark movie.
Sure.
That kind of sucks. But
yesterday we were talking about like, do women want to see super women, all cast women stuff? No, women watch this stuff.
Yes.
Women watch stuff that makes them feel good.
Yes, that's the key. Ashley loves these movies, and I've asked her several times. I was just kind of picking at her the other day about the Christmas movies coming up. I was like, I can tell you what's going to happen, and I started going through the script, the plot, and she's like, you know what? I know what's going to happen too, but I can watch that movie and it makes me feel good at the end. And I was like, okay, I understand that completely. So Candace Cameron makes those types of movies, and they're not my favorite movies, but I sit and watch them with Ashley if I don't fall asleep on the couch. They're cute movies, and I try to keep my mouth shut. But she has said now that she is not going to feature gay couples, and they're going to focus on traditional family stuff, traditional family, traditional marriage between a man and a woman.
What? That's crazy. Why would they do that?
How bonkers is that? So I think that I've loved, I mean, me and you, our generation, you gotta love Candace Cameron. I mean, DJ, man, she was DJ.
Right?
We grew up with DJ. You know, a lot of guys, a lot of kids, probably our first crush
So
was DJ. You know,
Full
but
House, right? It was
Full
Full
House,
House, and
yeah,
then
she used to be on
didn't they
Full
have
House.
like a revival show,
Yeah,
of
Fuller
Fuller
House
House?
on Netflix. It's really, really good. The Fuller House is just as good. I thought it was a great show. So even if you don't like this type of movies and whatnot, which this is not my go-to movie, you know, but
Yeah.
you probably do know somebody that does. And we have to say, I wanted to point this out because way to go for her, man. I
I
mean, she's
mean,
not bashing gay couples or anything or gay marriage or anything, as far as I know. I hadn't read all the way through the article, but she's like, hey, we're going to focus on traditional marriages since there are people out there that are in a traditional marriage.
right.
So
Imagine making a show or a channel or whatever, and you're gonna produce content that is, instead of
95%
yeah. Instead of
population,
appealing to like 2% of the population, you're gonna appeal to like 98% of the population.
98%.
Wouldn't it
Yeah,
be crazy if that worked? That would be
bonkers.
nuts.
It's
What a
crazy.
crazy business plan.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is good.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't
So
be
way to go,
98%. It'd
Candace
be like
Cameron.
half of 98%.
So
Yeah.
support her if you get the Great American Family channel, maybe watch a movie
All
on
right.
there or
Let's
something for her.
let's be honest. Nobody watching us is watching that channel.
That's
But
true. You're right.
guys,
Jeremy, are you watching?
tell your girls to go, tell your women, tell your wives and tell them to
That's
go
right.
watch this
Yeah.
and to support Candace Cameron, like a Twitter or whatever she's on. Just
You're
go give her some
you
public
you're
support, because the way the big media is, they'll
we
probably crap on her for saying any of this. You know what I mean? So go
right.
give her some public support. So that's awesome. So
They got
wow,
the
that's
same.
great.
You never watched the Fuller House. The only people that they didn't get to
Well,
come back
I don't
on the
Netflix.
oh, that's true. I forgot. The only people they didn't get to come back were the Olsen sisters. They didn't come back.
Yeah,
And
they can't afford them.
yeah, they mentioned them or something in there. I don't remember in one of the first episodes, but they
Right.
even had Kimmy come back, and she played a big part in the show. Remember Kimmy, her friend Kimmy, the crazy next door neighbor that was the creepy
Yes.
girl?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they even had that same actress came back. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cute show. My kids liked it. So, we watched it a lot.
So, this is related, but not necessarily, maybe not directly related. But I saw this also this morning. Young Justice and Great American Family Network star Danica McKellar is ditching California for rural life in Tennessee.
Well, let me tell you one thing that she's fixing to do. She's fixing to save a shit ton, and let me capitalize that, shit ton of money, because the cost of living in California ain't nothing like the cost of living down Tennessee. I guarantee that.
You could be poor in California and rich in Tennessee.
Dude, the poorest little house on those TV shows when they're like, we've budgeted for $700,000 and
I know.
we've got a
Every time they
400
like, oh
square foot home. And I'm going, $700,000
you're an
down
idiot.
here will get you 100 acres and like a 3 or 4
Yeah.
5,000 square foot home.
Right. You like ranches?
Plantation.
You want a ranch? Some horses?
That cracks me up when I watch those shows and they're like, my 800 square foot $2 million house, and I'm like, you're a moron.
So I guess it looks like it's just a year after making the jump to the.
Is that what's her name from Wonder Years?
You'd have to Google it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. She looks
Wonder Years? No. She would be like a lot older now. No, I don't personally recognize her, but I don't watch. What did it say? Young Justice. I don't know. I don't.
No,
that sounds like
it is. That's
is that a car? Is she a voice actress from a cartoon, or was there a live action one?
It's what's her name from Wonder Years? By God,
is it really?
Look! I'm just going to show you real quick.
Show me.
Boom.
That's Winnie.
Look, dude.
Shut up. You know, Winnie has a like
She's like a
yeah, she has like a master's degree in math. Yeah. That's Winnie.
I didn't know that.
Winnie.
I started looking at that picture. I'm like, man,
wow.
what's her name from Wonder Years? Because she looks just like her.
Yeah, this angle is not a good angle.
That's not a good one right there. That second picture is the one that I was like, wow, she really looks like, I forgot her name, Winnie.
That looks like Winnie right there.
Man. Wow.
Oh, wow. Winnie's going to Tennessee. Good job, Winnie. Awesome. I mean, you've been in Hollywood for like
man.
45 years or whatever.
The people around here, I mean, I'm not far from Tennessee either. I'm only like an hour and a half from Nashville. The people around here are very friendly people, man. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, you're in a big city. People change when they're in a big city, but we're not. I mean, people are friendly.
I'm loving Road Dog. Road Dog's over here dropping all kinds of comments on Rumble. Rumble,
man, we need to get Rumble.
Rumble, you guys got to figure out how I can get the comments on screen from Rumble, because
let me go over here and read.
Love Rumble, but so he says the only wholesome show he watches is Andy Griffith.
Hey,
which immediately makes me whistle the song in my head.
I play at my radio station here. Here coming up at 8:00. At 8:00 after my news comes on at 7:50, and when it's done with 8:00, the very first song that I play is the Fishing Hole song by Andy Griffith, and it's the one it's that song, the theme, but it's with the words, and it's Andy singing the words. And in the middle there, I've got like 15 different ones that I've did over the years, and I've cut Andy Griffith bits, from the show. Because all I do is pull up Netflix, and I pull up my recording program, and I would watch Andy Griffith. When I would find a funny line, I would just record it and put it in. And so I have a bunch. I've got a special Halloween one from remember the Halloween episode where they go to the ghost house, the house that they think's haunted. There's a Christmas episode. There was never a Thanksgiving Andy Griffith episode. I can't find a Thanksgiving Andy Griffith episode. But I love the Andy Griffith show. That's my thing, because my name's Andy. That's my thing that I do at 8:00 every day. That's my thing that I do at 8:00 every day on the radio. That's like I play the Fishing Hole song, and then I do my little, hey, it's Andy, blah, 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 blah. So yes, I love Andy Griffith. Long story long.
I mean, I can't just put every single comment on screen, man.
I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Let's see.
Are we even on live at Rumble right now? It's not saying.
Yeah, we must be. He wouldn't be
missing the wrong one.
Hey, by the way, if you haven't already, follow, subscribe, like something or whatever, and check out the links in the comments below. All right, so we were talking about Indiana Jones a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with YouTube? YouTube. I'm gonna just call him YouTuber Doomcock, the Overlord DVD. Are you familiar with this dipshit?
No.
Yeah. You're not? Okay.
No.
All right. I mean, I used to watch his videos. I think he's.
What does he do?
He's on YouTube, and he just does basically rumors and stuff like that. So he does rumors of movies and media, and then he gives a lot of hell to Disney or whoever, All right. So the Indy 5 director attacks YouTuber Doomcock, who basically is just releasing rumors and stuff about, just as the press vindicates Doomcock. Okay, so I know you don't know who this guy is. So
the director just basically gave this guy clout by responding to him?
Yeah, he was like, this isn't true. And the press was like, from what we understand, it's true. So I'm gonna walk you through what I understand. So we know that Indiana Jones 5 is being worked on, and Harrison Ford got injured, and then there was the COVID pause, so the whole production got slowed down, and Harrison Ford is 900 million years old. He's an old dude. So when Indiana Jones 5 comes out, it's not going to be Indiana Jones from when he was in his prime in the 1980s, or even when he was old in Crystal Skull. He's going to be real old, right? Put it together, guys. So the rumor that Doomcock was floating from his sources, whatever those are, is that Indiana Jones 5 will be a movie that passes the baton to a new person. Right?
It should have done that in 4 in the Crystal Skull, and I think they tried to, but nobody likes Shia LaBeouf.
Well, nobody liked Shia LaBeouf at the time, and also it was a terrible movie.
I didn't mind it.
All right, so Doomcock basically said, they're gonna not only are they gonna hand it off, they're gonna make Phoebe Waller-Bridge the new Indiana Jones, and Mangold. Now, I think it's James Mangold. This is the director of Logan, I believe. Remember the movie Logan, Wolverine, Schneek Schneek, and did you watch? He's on there, right? He's on the air right now. All right, so James Mangold basically said, no, that's not true. That's not happening. This dude Gus says, have there been any test screenings of Indy 5 yet? Rumors are flying. No, haven't been any test screenings at all. And James Mangold attacked Overlord DVD, aka Doomcock YouTube channel, denying rumors that he shared for Indiana Jones 5, and denying that Phoebe Waller-Bridge has even been considered to replace Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. Well, Paul, this is Mangold tweeting, well, Paulo, it's up to who you believe, an anonymous troll and basement dweller and Doomcock, or the actual director of the film. No one will ever replace Indiana Jones, not in any script, not in any cut, never discussed. And then The Sun runs this story. Next Indy, Phoebe Waller-Bridge set to replace Harrison Ford as star of Indiana Jones films. So we get that. Mangold says never going to happen, and then immediately The Sun runs this piece right here.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could have saw that coming. Yeah, right. I would have. If you would have said who would the next Indiana Jones be, I would have said a woman of a non-white woman.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry that would have been the truth. Yes, a non-white woman, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just tell a good story. Tell a good story.
Just make it good. Yeah.
Don't put Shia LaBeouf in the movie and tell a good story. Those are my 2 stipulations.
And Shia LaBeuf's a good actor. Okay. He was going through a rough time in his life. He's been a little bit of a wackadoodle. Honestly, no. Shia LaBeouf's actually a very interesting little young fella. Don't write him off.
No, I'm not. I would just like to pick on him.
Is that a still from the 5th Indiana Jones movie? 80-year-old Indiana Jones walking across a bridge in a cave. Okay. So we've been told out of the 6 endings they tested, the best one gets 35% from the test audiences, Doomcock explained. So that's one of the rumors that Doomcock was floating. And Bridge put a hat on every scene before noting that Bridge, that is the woman Waller-Bridge here, put a hat on every scene. That was, she was like coming out on top of the scenes or whatever. All of my this is again his quote. All of my spies actually said was that Phoebe Waller-Bridge puts it on Indy's hat, takes Indy's whip, and in a brave and stunning display of girl power, she becomes the bestest Indy ever at the end of all 6 versions of the movie. Mangold says that's not true. The Sun says maybe it is true. So I don't know.
I think the director, whoever that is trying to play a little game of CYA.
Yeah,
he's going to cover your ass because he got caught.
Yeah, that's a valid way to look at it. I can hear Showstopper in the other room. I think they're in there playing. Oh, they're allowed to be up now. Let's see. Let's just mention this real quick and then we'll go. It's the last thing, the Chappelle thing. All right. So if last Saturday might have been the first time that you guys watched Saturday Night Live in like, I don't know, 15 years.
1 million years. Yeah, seriously, since like 1997.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle was the host. The writers did a strike.
This man
and
is a legend.
This dude is just the best. I love Dave Chappelle.
Dave
Chappelle,
he's the greatest.
Tricked producers by giving them a fake monologue during dress rehearsal. So if you've seen the clips of the monologue from the SNL show, that's what I've seen. I've seen him do the clips. He did the Kanye bit. He did the like Jews in Hollywood
Yeah, the
thing.
Jews in Hollywood. That's so, man.
So
Oh.
apparently he during dress rehearsal he did an entirely different bit, and the producers were like, okay. And then he gets on stage and it's live on Saturday Night Live, and he does
because
like
some of the stuff that he said was like, Dave is a master of seeing where the line is and walking up right to the line. He never crosses it. You know, I don't think. I think he's an expert of walking the line.
And sometimes he says things that are like, like what? But then when you take the whole tapestry of the jokes, multiple jokes that he lays out, they build together like a tower or something. And by the time you get to the end, it's like, oh my God. He is so good at doing the setup and then doing the turn. It's just amazing.
He's one of the greatest comedians of all time. He has turned out to be one of the greatest comedians. And we got to watch the whole thing, from the very beginning of his career.
Yeah.
I got to see him and Joe Rogan down in Nashville, remember, not too long ago. And that was where me and Ashley went down there to watch him in Nashville. Tom Segura and Jeffrey Ross. And I mean, it was freaking fantastic. Wow. And that Dave was
Chappelle
the one.
And Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that was the one where
that's to remember.
You can see that was right after the trends and the Netflix stuff, and right after his Netflix stuff had come out. And that is the clip where he turns on the lights, and he said, he told us, he said, all right, he said, I'm fixing to turn on the lights here a little bit. He said, because this next 15 minutes, y'all are going to see in the news for about the next 2 weeks. So you could see the cameras came out to start filming him. And that was that's where he went off on the Netflix people and whatnot, and like issued them that ultimatum and whatnot. And we were sitting way the hell up there in nosebleeds, but it was so worth it. Oh, it was great.
Okay, well, that's all the news for this morning. We got some comments over on Rumble from our boy Road Dog. He's saying him and Brian are talking. Deacon, what's your Rumble channel? Deacon, I don't think you have a Rumble channel you post any content to.
No, I don't post any content to it. Maybe
you can sync it up with your YouTube and put your
I've got some Contest of Champions stuff that I did back in the day, some silly stuff that I did back in the day, and then there's some Marvel trading card game from the PSP, from the PlayStation Portable, some games on that, and then I think I've got 1 or 2 games of Snap if I've even uploaded them. But it's just me playing games and just talking and whatnot. It's nothing like this.
He does have a YouTube channel, but Deacon, maybe whenever you have free time, there's a switch in Rumble and you can sync it up, and then you can just post all your content in one place, and then it puts it on both channels if you want to.
Yeah, it's just me doing
stuff. Speaking of YouTube and Rumble, Road Dog, if you haven't already, please hit follow.
Is that
please
Sky?
Hit the little is that Sky? Deacon asked if that's Sky. Yeah,
I know. I know
You're Paw Patrol, and you're into the Paw Patrol.
And that is wait a minute, I know her name too. It's
you want to hold it closer? Hold it closer.
Oh, I forgot her name. What's her name?
What's her name?
Everest. Yeah, that's right. I knew it was something winter. Everest. Yeah, Everest. Yeah. I watched a bunch of Paw Patrol.
Which one's your favorite?
I like both of them.
Both of them are her favorite.
Me too. I like Rumble. Rumble is my favorite.
Rubble is his favorite.
Rubble.
He says he likes Rubble. Isn't that the yellow one?
Rumble.
Yeah.
Isn't it Rumble?
Is it Rumble or Rubble? I think it's Rubble. Is it Rumble or Rubble?
Rubble. Oh, okay. It's Rubble.
Okay. Do you want to say hi to Uncle Jeremy too?
Yeah.
You want to try? Go ahead.
Let me see.
Uncle Jeremy.
You can only see him talking in the chat. Okay.
Hi, Uncle Jeremy.
Can you say like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe.
All right, go get ready for school. Go get dressed. All right, that's all we got this morning, guys. Thanks for being here. We are here Monday through Friday, and if you don't mind, especially you, Road Dog. If you don't mind, share this show out. Yes,
I love it.
I know what you want. I know what you want, and you have to get dressed though. If you don't mind, not only subscribe but also share this show out on Twitter or on your whatever social media you're into. Share it with your friends. If you got it, other guys. We talk about dad stuff on this channel all the time. But for the rest of today, I don't know. But I'm JJ. That's Deacon, and we are your two dads, and we will be back tomorrow morning. 6:30 in the morning.
Eat your vegetables.
Deacon, take your medicine. It's so much better when you take your medicine. All right. I'm looking for that. There it is. Bye.